Yo, you geeky gamers, this is That Closet Gamer, and today I'm going to be bringing you a World of Tanks video mixed with one last update. And this isn't really an update, this is more or less the real reason that I was probably going to quit YouTube. And I don't think anybody knows this, but I'm just gonna put it out there so you guys know what's actually been happening, and it's not really anyone's fault that I was gonna quit. But, so, let me start the story about why I was actually gonna quit, okay? So, 2 or 3 years ago, I met someone on Xbox Live, and I actually met them in a prison thug fight match, or it was something like that, but it was in Grand Theft Auto 5 on the 360. And this person didn't really mean much to me at the time, but later in the years, they actually begun, whatever word fits there, they began to mean more and more every time I talked to them. And I would come home and we would Skype and play Grand Theft Auto, and I can remember just sitting and playing GTA 5 with them for hours and hours on end. So they actually one day I didn't know what they looked like, I didn't know who they were. And if you know who I'm talking about, don't post it in the comments. That's why I'm not leaving names, because most of you already know who it is. But one day I was at a football game. It was a Philo game. And I was standing talking to my friends when that person actually came up to me and shoved me, and I had no idea who it was, and I was actually kind of scared for my life. I thought I was about to get mugged or something. And then we kind of talked, and they told me who they were. And that day, they meant more to me than they ever did that day, because I don't know why. They came out of nowhere, and then suddenly they meant a lot to me. But then one day we just stopped talking. I mean, we did talk, but since I'm the geek and the nerd and whatever word you want to fit in that position, I am the one that, fixes the Xboxes, the computers. If you have a problem, you come to me. Well, that's the only time we ever talked really after that, was when they had problems with their Xbox and needed help fixing it. And for some reason, we just didn't talk anymore. They still meant a lot to me. They did mean a lot, but I kind of moved on, you could say, and just kept living my life and was fine. I hate to say it, but I was doing okay while they were gone, and I didn't notice how much I actually wanted them in my life until 2 or 3 weeks ago. They actually texted me, and they needed help with their Xbox. But then we started to play Shadows of Evil, and we caught up, and I never realized how much I actually wanted them to be a part of my life, you could say. I never really noticed that I wanted to, I didn't notice that how much I missed them for those 2 years. And I mean, I've never really missed someone, and I don't know why we just stopped talking. But when they came back, they said some stuff, and hang on, this voiceover is about to end. I'm gonna have to start a new one here in a second. Alright, so back to the story. Anyway, so they came back, and they actually told me something about the night at the football game that shocked me. It pushed me into such a deep shock that I didn't know that that's how they felt, and it kind of depressed me because I missed it and never noticed it, and it really hurt me. That's why about 2 days, 3 days later after that, I posted the I'm thinking about quitting video. Well, I was so depressed. I had no motive to do anything after that. And then we just kept talking, and we grew closer over the time that in the past 2 or 3 weeks that we've been talking. We grew closer than we did when we was on Xbox for hours and hours and hours. We grew closer than we did when we was at the football game talking and hanging out. And then they actually said they wanted to see me again, which I got extremely nervous because by this point we actually got together and we were trying to make it work, but there was some complications that we ran into. But they actually wanted to see me, and I was extremely nervous because I really liked this person. And after 2 years, you begin to change. And I changed a lot in the past 2 years. You can tell that just from my YouTube videos, like my voice, my face, basically I've changed completely. The way I act, I'm just a whole different person than I was 2 years ago, and I was extremely nervous what they would think when they see me, and I was extremely nervous how they would react. And then, so I go to the mall, and we was actually gonna go watch The Forest, which I kind of wish that I could still watch, but we was gonna go watch The Forest, but they had to leave early, so we didn't go watch the movie. And I was standing in Bargain Box, and I was looking at the consoles because I ain't got nothing better to do with my life than look at the Nintendos and Ataris and Xboxes. So I'm standing in Bargain Box, and I didn't know that they were beside me or behind me. It to my side, kind of behind, I guess you could say. And I didn't know they were there, and I was in some serious shock when they said, "I figured I'd find you here." And after that, we did some other stuff. I'm not gonna go into much detail about that. And then a few days later, we didn't really argue, but some things were said that kind of hurt me. And today, to this day, they still do hurt. It was last week, and it was just kind of going over and over. They said it again and again and again, and eventually we did break. We aren't together anymore because of the complications that we ran into, and they said we could try again, which I'm hoping is something that they're going to hold up to, because I really do like this person, and I was extremely depressed at school, couldn't do anything, and hang on, I'm gonna have to do another voiceover clip here in a second, hang on. But anyway, I was depressed at school. I can hide depression really well. Even my friends couldn't tell that I was upset or depressed. They only knew I was mad, or not mad, but more depressed, and didn't really have a motive for anything anymore because I told them in the morning. I gave them a fair warning that if I was like a dick at school, they would know why. And they actually, a couple of them were really cool about it. A couple of them were kind of dicks about it. And the ones that were dicks about it, I know who you are because my friend Dylan actually told me who you guys are and what you guys were saying before I got to school. And I'm not mad that you guys said some stuff, but at least you guys said it while I wasn't sitting next to you, because I would have got extremely pissed off if you guys were saying that stuff while I was sitting there. So I'm not mad, because at least you guys were nice enough to do it while I wasn't there, but I am kind of pissed that you guys were saying the stuff you were saying, and you know what you said, so I'm not gonna go into detail about that. But so basically the reason I was actually gonna quit was because this person came back into my life and they said some things that I never really noticed or knew, and it depressed me for not noticing. And I was just in such a deep depression, I didn't want to do YouTube anymore, or do anything. So, anyway, this is kind of an upsetting video, but I hope you all enjoyed, and this is That Classic Gamer saying, stay geeky.